Look at everybody in the camera. Look at everybody. They all love you. Okay, so we're going to go back in time for a minute. Let's go back to that last week. We were together and we talked about how basically complex sentences, how there's an independent and dependent clause put together. Remember that we were in stations and I was meeting people in small group. We were working on transition words, like adding those into them, and then talking about like what are the different types of transition words. You guys were in stations and y'all were working on simple complete subject and complete predicate and putting those together. And you guys also worked on subject-verb agreement, making sure our verbs and our nouns are best friends. So remember that those were the lowest standards we had problems with. And so that's what we were working on right before we left. I realized when I was tutoring with some of my kids that last week, I realized that there was something that I forgot to mention. And we're going to go over it today. And basically, remember when we're working on complex sentences, there's an independent and dependent clause, and we put those together with a subordinate conjunction. Now, what happens if you have an independent clause and an independent clause, and you try to put those together? What do you think is going to happen? If you guessed a run-on, you're completely right. Yeah. When you put two sentences, two complete sentences together without any type of punctuation, then it becomes a run-on. And then you get to the issue with how do we fix a run-on? Yeah, so there's like several different ways of how to fix a run-on, but really you guys need to know two ways. And so the first way is to put a period. Divide those two independent clauses. And then the other one is putting a comma and a conjunction together, so that you have some kind of fanboy with the comma is really important, because then it becomes a simple sentence and another simple sentence put together with a comma and a conjunction. And what does that make? Okay, so today's Monday, so what I want you guys to do is do an assignment for me. We're going to have an assignment where there's going to be run-on sentences. That means two independent clauses put together, making a run-on. And I want you to fix those sentences. And you can either do that by adding a comma and a conjunction, or by making each independent clause separate from each other and adding that period in between. So that's all you're basically doing today. So it's super easy. Remember fanboys. That's really important. When you're working on your assignment, what I want you to do is, your parents can probably help you with this part, but the two independent clauses that you're going to see on each part of your paper, I want you to go through and highlight it. Okay, so this is going to be how you highlight, is you will find the two independent clauses. So you'll figure out the two different parts of the sentence. So number one says, the girls went to see Mr. P. They wanted to show him their dance. So there's two separate ideas. The girls went to see Mr. P, and then they wanted to show him their dance. So I'm going to highlight each clause separately. I'm going to highlight the first part, and I'm going to highlight that in yellow. And then I'll take that second part, and then I'm going to highlight that in green. In green. That's it. So now the next part is that you just need to put a period to fix the run-on, or you can add a conjunction. So I'm just going to add a period. So I'll put it after Mr. P. And then I'm going to want to capitalize that next word, because that's the beginning of the next sentence. And then I'm done with number one, and then I keep going. Okay, and I mean, that's all I have for today. So come back tomorrow with another video and another assignment, and it's going to be awesome. And I feel like you're going to learn a lot these next 2 weeks, even though we're not in person. person together. So, yay! All right, you guys have a good day. Have a good Monday. Bye.